it's French Monica here. So it's been a really long time since I made a video. It's been 7 months and I honestly just don't know where the time has gone. Things have just been so kind of crazy. And of course we're still in the middle, or hopefully close to the end of a global pandemic. So, you know, there's that. So today I'm just gonna go through my April monthly budget. So this is just April. There's no paycheck. And yeah, so let's just get into it. So first I'm gonna start with our income. So our full-time income for the month of April is going to be $6,390. And I get paid once a month. My husband gets paid semi-monthly, so 2 times per month. And then next, every month we get our Canada Child Benefit. And so it's just a benefit from the government, and it's based off of your income. So the less income you have, the more that you would get, and vice versa. And also it depends on how many kids you have, and it can change year to year. So it's not always the same. So the Canada Child Benefit for April is going to be $657. And then next, our side hustle income is going to be $700 for the month. And then so because we're still in a pandemic, the province of Ontario is giving what they call support for learners. And so it's $400 per child. And since I have 3 children, I'm going to be getting $1,200. So I'm not actually going to include that in this total, because even though they say that the payments are supposed to start at the end of April, I don't know exactly if I'll get that for April or not. So I'm just going to still note it here, but I'm not going to actually include it with the numbers, because I don't want to budget it just in case. And it's kind of like unexpected money. I'm just gonna actually put it right here, this side. So the total of this is $7,747. Okay, and so now we'll just move on to our bills, so kind of like more of our fixed expenses. So first I'm going to start out with giving. So every month we give 10% of our income to, normally it's the church, but for charity. And that amount is $775. So I don't normally write the dates when things are due, because even though I'm doing the budget for April, all these bills are actually due. Not all of them, but most of them are due in May, because I only get paid once a month. I pay all of my bills the month before they're due. So I just don't write them there, because I could put the first, but it's actually for the first of the following month. So I don't worry about that part. And so for my rent, I live in a basement apartment. It's $915. And then next is my car insurance. So we have 2 cars, and then also included in this number is renter's insurance and also life insurance for me and my husband. So I still write State Farm, even though technically State Farm is now Desjardins, but I still just write it like that because I want to. Okay, so every month for our Kudo bill, and this Kudo bill covers 3 cell phones, I budget $350 per month. My husband, because he drives for work and he uses his phone, he normally uses quite a bit of data. That's why it's kind of higher than probably normal cell phone bills are. And we have 2 cars, a BMW and a Nissan. And so our BMW we paid for cash, so we don't have a car payment on that, but we do for our Nissan. So every month that is $540.36. And so that comes out every other Friday. So now for our credit cards. So our Capital One credit card, the minimum payment is $230. And for our Canadian Tire credit card, the minimum payment is $30. It's actually a little bit less than that, but I just put it at $30 because we have a line of credit. And all of these credit items are either mine or my husband's. We don't have anything that is joint when it comes to our credit, or debt, I should say. $130. And then our American Express card, the minimum payment is $20. And then we have another Capital One. One is my husband's, one is mine. And the minimum payment for that is, I think it's going to be around $35. It was less than that last month, but I think that's basically what it's going to be for this month. Okay, so after that, we have another Canadian Tire card. We basically have the same forms of credit cards. And the minimum payment for that one is $200. And then we have two loans. So we'll just call them Loan 1 and Loan 2. And Loan 2, the payment for one is $278.50, and the payment for the other is $327.51. And so that is our debt payments for the month, basically. So next, subscriptions. So we have subscriptions for Dropbox. I have subscriptions for QuickBooks, for Netflix, for what else? What else? We have a lot of subscriptions. So for Disney Plus, that's another one. We don't pay for cable, so we have some of these other little things where you can watch like movies and shows and that type of stuff. But I think that's basically it. And then Dropbox obviously is for storage. So our subscriptions every month total up to be $130. And so bank fees. Our bank fee is actually like $16. I just put $20 just in case I randomly have to pay for like an e-transfer fee, even though I don't really have those as much anymore because most of the banks have kind of done away with that. But I do have an account with the credit union and they still charge $1.50. And then a tax-free savings account. This is just one that I have set up just to put aside money for my kids. Right now we just do $50. Obviously at some point we'll increase that, but for right now that is just what we do. So if I total up all of these, and these are basically reoccurring every month, there's nothing on here that we don't have in another month basically. So that's why it's in this portion, which is basically kind of like our fixed items. Okay, so if I total that up, it equals $4,621.37. So if I take my income here and I minus these bills, I'm left over with $3,125.63. Okay, so next on to our variable expenses. So these items, these are normally paid with my paycheck because I get paid once a month. And then the variable ones we split up throughout the month with the other paychecks. So left over, we had $3,125.63. So to start off is our food category, and this is $600. And so this is for groceries and for eating out. It's not that high and we should probably increase it at some point, but that's just what we do for right now. And so for this month, for gas, I'm going to budget $700. Normally, I budget $600, but it seems like recently my husband, he drives for work, and he's gotten some extra work that he drives a little bit more. So because of that, I'm just going to increase it for this month and kind of see how that goes. And so our pet budget. So we have dogs, and we also have a saltwater aquarium. So this generally just takes care of dog food or fish food and anything related to the pets for the month. Even though this month I anticipate that this might be a little bit more, but I'm kind of not sure. So I'm just going to leave it at that for right now. Allowance. So this is for me and my husband, and it is $200 for the month. And then vitamins, I budget $100 a month. So this doesn't necessarily have to be vitamins. It could also be like prescriptions or anything like that, medication that we need. And so $100 per month. And then I put in just a little buffer for other items that we might need or stuff that might come up. It's kind of just like a miscellaneous, low money, just whatever comes up for the month, like any extra random kind of stuff. And so for that, I put $200. Ideally, we would like to kind of leave that in the budget or leave that in the bank, but we generally use it every month. And so we have a trip to Niagara Falls. So we actually already went on this trip. We came back yesterday, and the budget was $300, but I'm actually filming this just a little bit into April, so that's why that's like that. And then another miscellaneous category, $100. I just have that in there this month. I don't know exactly why. So if we add all of this together, it equals $2,500. I use this paycheck bill tracker from Thebudgetmom, which I really, really love because of how it divides the different categories. So even though this is envelopes, I kind of just use it as my variable category. I don't actually use cash envelopes. Although recently I've been looking for a way to have digital envelopes because I still would like to track each of these categories individually as I spend in those categories. So if you know of any digital, any apps or anything like that, or any digital cash envelopes, let me know in the comments below. And so, okay, I will be left over with, when I take this $3,125 and minus this $2,500, I'll be left with $625.63. So sinking funds. Let's just write this up here. So, okay, these are my regular sinking funds, vet expenses. This month, because one of our dogs is potentially pregnant, I might end up using some of this money for the sinking funds on that, like if there's additional vet expenses instead of having to use, say, my credit card. So I'm going to write the amounts here that I would normally put in my sinking fund, but at the bottom I'm just gonna add it all up and put it into the miscellaneous fund. So vet is $100, and then a planner. So this year, later on the year, when I want to buy my planner, I'll already have the money for it. Car licensing. So this is just for the end of the year. Both of my cars, I'll have to renew my plates. And I didn't do this year because they actually weren't requiring you to because of COVID. I guess they didn't want as much people going to the Service Ontarios. So, but I'll have to pay double this year when I do it. So my Christmas sinking fund, it's $50. And then back to school. So this year, one of my daughters did virtual school at home. The other one actually went to school because she's in senior kindergarten, and it was just kind of hard to have her home and work. Oh man, $100. So, yeah, back to school. And now this year, actually, my son will be going into kindergarten. So I'll have all 3 of my kids in school this year. So that will be interesting. But yeah, back to school. We'll hopefully prepare for that for August. Car repairs. You may or may not hear my son crying, but my husband is there, so don't worry. He'll be taken care of. Budget $100. And then miscellaneous. So the total of these are 400, and normally I do $100 here. This is like a special category. I just named it as miscellaneous, but it's actually for something that I am just not putting here. But it's $484. So what I'm actually going to just do is put the $484 in this miscellaneous category. Okay, so my son came in the room, so you may or may not hear him talking. But okay, so I just put this whole $484 here. And then over the month, I'll figure out if it gets used or not. If it doesn't, then it will just go into these categories. But it may all end up in the kind of vet category, which isn't really a sinking fund. It's actually just going to be an expense because your sinking fund's is supposed to accumulate over time. But anyways, so that's just a whole nother thing. So the total is $484, and then I'll be left over with $141.63. So I'm not putting anything to debt for right now. I'm kind of deciding between how much I'm going to put towards debt and how much I'm going to save. So right now I'm just putting everything in general savings, and then I'll decide, because I also got my tax return and I haven't decided how much of that I'm going to save and how much of that I'm going to put away for debt. So I just, once I kind of have like a lump sum amount of money, then I'll just make the decision and kind of divvy it out at that time. So 141.63 and 0. And so with this support for learners, I also plan on using it to buy some stuff for my kids, like because the April break, or the March break that's in April this year, is coming up. So I want to buy some activities for them to do for the week. And then also because summertime is coming up, I will buy them some clothes and stuff like that that they might need. And then anything that's left over, I will most likely either put in savings or pay off debt. So that also is why I kind of just put this to the side, because that's going to go in one of these categories, but I'm not exactly sure yet. And I may not decide what it will be in the month of April. So that was my budget with me for the month of April. If you're interested in seeing more of these, stay tuned, subscribe, like this video. I should be coming out with other videos when I actually figure out in what paycheck I'm going to pay any of these bills, kind of thing, especially when it comes to these variable amounts. So if you'd like to see that, stay tuned, and thank you for watching.